Hey everyone for joining in. Thank you so much for me taking some time wherever you're in different parts of the world. Really excited to have Daniel Budai today, sharing a lot about how to retain your customers. He's been doing that from 150 odd brands, if I'm not wrong, Daniel, from quite some time. Really a spokesperson in when it comes to e-commerce retention. I even happened to record a podcast, and he's been really contributing to the community. So I'm really grateful already for Daniel taking some time. So this session is going to be really engaging. So whoever is here, we'd love to know you. So please use the chat. Say wherever you are, right? And if you've been doing things around retaining good customers, right? There can be so many things. We'd love to know what's the one thing that you've done that can be even saying that I've called up 100 customers and talked to them. That's also a great start to retaining them. Or it can be anyone, who've been running, flows, or anyone who's been trying to increase AOV, building a community, or whatever that is. Since retention is a huge thing, please introduce yourself and also tell us one thing that you have done to retain your customers. And two, if you have any questions, it can be an open-ended question to Daniel. Feel free to put it in the chat as we go along during this session. And Daniel obviously is here to share some of the strategies and what really goes on in Budai Media when it comes to helping a lot of e-commerce brands retain the customers, have a sustainable business. So really, let's make this engaging. Feel free to put in any sort of question so that Daniel can take it up after he shares what he needs to share. So, and also, after that is finished, you can come to the stage and ask a question because we want to see your faces as well. All right. So Daniel, I think we had a few things in mind as goals to achieve during this session. That's starting from how do you convert your website visitors to your subscribing list? How do you engage them? Then primarily, how do you look at converting those first-time purchasers? Right? How do you keep people loyal? How do you make them buy from you again? So let's go over so you can, share your screen and start.
My company and I do retention marketing for e-commerce stores. And today I want to focus on email campaigns because I think it answers many of these questions. I want to focus on a smaller topic, but I hope it will answer many other questions on other fields as well. Basically, my company is Budai Media, and now we are 26 great people, fully remote company, and we've held more than 150 e-commerce stores in the past few years, and we primarily focus on the US market, but not just the US market, so Europe as well. Actually, we had clients from India as well, the Emirates, so all over the world. And so just to recap, if you don't know, in email marketing, we separate flows or automations with different words versus campaigns. And flows are usually triggered by a certain action, such as someone abandons their cart, somebody subscribes to email, or somebody purchase, and they automatically receive those emails. While when you send a campaign, it must be done manually, and you pick the segment yourself who to send the emails to. So the 10 commandments of email campaigns, and I hope this will answer many questions here. Let's start with the first one. So this is quite, I would say it's simple but not easy. I mean, many people, they know they should do it, but they just don't do it. So actually just sit down and every month create a actual campaign plan, an email plan, or if you do SMS marketing, or plan for that too. and just really, sit down in front of your calendar and just really sketch it out what you want to have. This is an example. It's very simple. So what kind of email you want to send out, what's the segmentation, what's your offer. You can also add where you want to A/B test. So all of that. This would be step one, I would say. These are the main things. You can also add what angle, so how you will sell the product or the content to your people, links, discounts, and it also helps the whole company to be on the same page about what you will send to your subscribers. Next one is segment your list. So segmentation is a big one. I can usually see that people, they either over segment or they under segment. Most companies, they under segment still, like this one here. They send emails to their all subscribers. They don't differentiate between people, and though it makes money, but they miss out a lot on making even more money by personalizing the message more. But I can also see companies who actually over segment. So they spend a lot of time on segmenting their list, and they come up with very technical things, how to segment their list, a lot of conditions, but actually it doesn't yield more revenue. And I think that's one reason why it's good to work with either an agency or someone very experienced in email marketing, because they already know what makes sense to use for segmentation and what is just wasting time. So that's something crucial. What segmentations work for us? And you can use it not just for email, but even for SMS, your loyalty programs, when you come up with different customer segments. So one big one, very obvious, location. If you sell in multiple countries or cities, you can differentiate between them. Next one is purchase history, which reflects their interest, what kind of products they buy. They buy the cat product, the dog products, the bunny products, and so on and so on. That's an obvious one. And then the engagement level. Probably many of you are already familiar with this one. These are the typical engaged 30 segment, engaged 60, engaged 180, and so on. So we check who are those people who opened or clicked an email in the last 30 days, and we call them engaged 30. And you can use the same logic for engaged 60, engaged 180, and so on and so on. So you can create different segments. On this screenshot, you can see we used engaged 30, France, engaged 30, Germany, engaged 30, UK. So we use location and engagement based segmentation. I really like this quote. You only need 1,000 true fans. People, they undervalue this quote, and people, they focus too much on the list size. I know businesses with 100k subscribers barely making any money, and businesses being in 7-figure with only 3,000 subscribers. So I think it really tells you the real power of this mindset, and also finding these people by segmentation. So next one is content and sales. So why I put this picture here? Because this guy, let's be honest, he's a beggar. You don't want to be like him. You don't want, because many businesses, they always just ask and ask and ask from people. They want to sell. That's the only thing that they do. And they don't provide any value to their subscribers. And that's why many people, they stop, they unsubscribe from your emails. They never buy from you. When you hear someone saying that I hate emails, promo emails, then it's because those people, they saw too many emails from these kind of companies. So you want to stand out, and it's not that difficult, to be honest. Most companies, they just want to sell all the time. What you want to do is send more content and valuable information to your subscribers. I always say the ideal ratio is 50-50. So half of them content and these valuable informations, half of them can be promo. And then you can experiment around, see what works. We work with brands where they don't send any promo, just content and valuable information, and it makes more money than sales emails. So you should really experiment with this. And of course, segment your list as well. You can send different content to each segment. Also, I put this here. So GLOCAP, that's what we use for measuring the inbox rate of our emails. And if it goes below 80%, less than 80% of emails go into the inbox, then we try to send more content. We use GLOCAP and recently Mail Monitor because that's even more reliable and precise. So check out these tools. If you don't know what content to send, nowadays you can even ask ChatGPT, but basically we send even jokes convert and make sales. We send news and updates, which are industry relevant, hacks, tricks, tips, especially for past customers. We send out fresh website customer reviews. We send out surveys to ask questions. We promote social media like Instagram or TikTok or YouTube in the emails. Send out unboxing videos. So there are limitless ideas, and I think you can be very creative on this. The next one is segmentation, and this is one of our favorites. So you should always think about if you want to have more returning customers. I think this is one of the questions here, that how to get more returning customers. So you want to segment out your existing buyers, one-time customers, returning customers, your best customers, highest lifetime value customers, and figure out what they purchased already and what is a fitting product. And nowadays you can use tools like Triple Whale or Northbeam or even Google Analytics, I think, and you can check if somebody buys product A, what is the most likely product they buy after. And you will see customer journeys in very nicely in these tools. And you just want to follow that. So if somebody usually buys product A and then product B, then you want to find those people who already bought product A and you want to offer them product B. So that's how you maximize that you sell to them again and they become returning customers. So you want to figure out these combinations. You want to analyze your data. And as you get bigger and bigger, it becomes easier and easier. You have more and more data. Here's an example how we did it in Klaviyo for one of our clients. Here's just an example. If somebody buys a necklace, 60% of them, they purchase the ring on the website. So you want to target them who already bought the necklace but haven't bought the ring, create a segment and send an email with the ring, with a special offer. So nowadays, it's a big game in e-commerce, the different attribution tools or CDPs. I put here a few companies, but there are many, many more nowadays. So Triple Whale is the one that we usually use. It works very well with Shopify stores. We use Matrillo as well. I know Klaviyo is working on their own platform. It's called Klaviyo One, but it's more enterprise level. And OmniConvert has Reveal, which is a bit different tool. Nowadays we don't use it. We used it like 1-2 years ago more. I know there is Hyros, but it's less for e-commerce. And the other one I would recommend for 8-9 figure companies is Northbeam. So I think the best two are Triple Whale for smaller stores, 6-7 figure range, Northbeam for 8-9 figure range. So yeah, and using these tools, you will see many, very great things like average retention rate and also by time how it changes, predictive CLV. You will see the lifetime value of customers and the expected future lifetime value. And based on that, you can set up different triggers. So you will see who are those guys who are the most likely to buy in the future. And in Klaviyo, you can even see when they are expected to buy again. So typical example, there are people who only buy from you during Black Friday's week. So Klaviyo is smart and recognizes this pattern, and it will tell you, okay, these guys will buy next time in November next year. So you can set up a flow or special email campaigns and really target those people, because you know that they are very likely to buy at that point. So that's how they become returning buyers, and you can increase their lifetime value. And you can connect some of them with Klaviyo, not all of them, but many of these tools, and then you can create segments on them. So that is this RFM segmentation tactic. It's a bit more advanced. I wouldn't use it below a list of 50 or 100,000 subscribers, but if you want, I can share. So this is, basically we create different groups of people based on how recently they purchased, how frequently they purchase, and the value of their purchase. So what's the average order value that they have? And based on these three criteria, we set up different segments. So there will be 3 times 3 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 3. I think that's 27 different segments that we set up, and you can send different emails to each segment. So yeah, but it's usually used by bigger companies. When it comes to smaller ones, we use the segmentation tactics that I shared before: location, engagement, purchase history. So number 6 is focus on your best-selling products. Again, probably nothing new under the sun, but many companies, they don't do this, or they don't know how to do it. So simply check your best-selling products, and we usually push those in email. Sometimes we pick the VIP segment and we introduce the new product to them first, because it lowers the risk for the business. The VIPs, if they don't like the new product, they are not as harsh with their feedback. But apart from this, almost every time we try to sell the best sellers in email and SMS as well. So we, don't try to reinvent the wheel here. We check what works and we just go with those products in email and SMS as well. Number 7, so this is a huge one. Have a sales event every month. From a psychological perspective, people, they always need a reason to buy, or not always, but in most cases, they need an excuse to buy. And for most people, it's holidays. So Black Friday, Christmas, Valentine's Day, Easter, and so on, many different holidays. But there are months when there are no holidays. What to do? So you can come up with your own holiday. You can invent a holiday. With one of our clients, we have an International Dogs Day, or International, you can see here many, Bird Day or Bean Day, Old Rock Day. So there are so many. You can find these online, or you can just come up with your own event, and actually it will help building your brand and building even more brand awareness, being more unique on the market, basically. So yeah, the point is you want to have these events at least once a month, because you want to give people a reason to buy from you. And how we usually do these events, so this consists not only one email or one flow, but we use multiple channels in a synced way. We use email, SMS, sometimes even loyalty programs, even postcards. But we create that content marketing calendar I showed you. And for example, it's Black Friday, and then we plan the whole thing. For 1 week, we only send Black Friday content on all channels. And we usually have some kind of pre-announcement that our event will start on the 20th of November, so be prepared. And even these pre-announcement emails make sometimes really good money. So here's a big breakdown. So we have the pre-announcement, and then we have an opening email plus SMS text message. That usually makes the most money for the brand. And then we send out reminders. Sometimes we use a discount letter, or we even launch new products. So it really depends on the brand. But we try to come up with new things every day, and we try to incentivize people and not just repeat the same thing each and every day for 1 week, but come up with new angles every day. And we don't want them to get bored by our content. And we also have a closing email, which usually works very well too. And after we say a thank you email, which has some conversion as well. So that's the usual setup. And we play this game every month. So we have these events, not just when it's Christmas or Black Friday, but every month. And we send out these emails for 1 week. It's like 7-10 emails for many brands, plus text messages. So we made 75K in 10 days for this fashion brand. Yeah, this is the whole structure. So announcement, grand opener, plus SMS reminders. And then we build urgency as we get closer to the end of this whole event. And we finish it. So number 8 is truly consider the tone of voice of your audience, what kind of language they are using. Actually, many brands, they don't do this. I highly recommend for business owners to actually talk to a few of their customers. If possible, you can even call them and also read the customer reviews. There are a few tips that you can do with ChatGPT. One of them is just copy all of your reviews, put them into ChatGPT, and ask ChatGPT who is your buying persona, and it will sum it up very well. So that's one thing. And then you can ask ChatGPT to create the introduction of a real person based on that. So it will create a description of a real person that sounds very real. So, hey, my name is James, I'm from Texas, I love hunting deer, and so on and so on. So ChatGPT creates this customer avatar, which seems very real based on your reviews. And we just started doing this because we just, speeds up things, but also one of our team members said that we are, as humans, we are very biased who is our customer avatar. But ChatGPT is not biased. So it will give you a very nice picture of your ideal customer that you can use. And so there are multiple advantages of using AI for customer avatars. But what you really want, so you really want to consider who is your ideal audience, ideal customer avatar. You want to have a nice description of them. And later on, you can use that in your copywriting as well. So, these are the things that we go through when it comes to copy. We consider all of these, if they are more casual or formal kind of people, more humorous or more serious, more energetic or relaxed. And we go through all of these questions with the e-commerce business. And we just really think about it. Same with design. So these are the main things. And then the next one is, so nowadays it's pretty simple. I think most email and SMS tools, they have it. But a few years ago, this was a big problem, like when to send out our emails to have conversion. And nowadays, these tools, they can tell you. You can set up a test, and the tool sends out the same amount of emails or SMS every hour of the day, and it just checks when was the open rate the highest. For this brand, it was 9 p.m. So way different than at 6 p.m. It's a huge difference, more than 30% difference between the two. So you can really test this out, see what the data tells, and after a few campaigns, you have this data and you can send all of your campaigns at this time when it converts the best. And yeah, here's the presentation, how it works in Klaviyo, for example. And the last one is, so this is more strategic, but we always ask our clients and all e-commerce businesses who follow us that they should think about what's their priority: short-term revenue, generating revenue and good cash flow, or rather long-term branding, or even selling their business at some point. And the two things, so if you think in long run, the two things they are not the opposite. But if you think in just 1 year, they are quite the opposite. So you want to maximize your sales and then good cash flow, or you rather want to build something bigger, which takes more time and you want to exit at some point. Many guys, that's my impression, many guys, they say that they want the second, but how they act is the first. So they say, I want to build something big, branding is important. And in reality, how they behave, it's more just about quick sales. So yeah, it's just something, super important to be clear about. And I think both is fine. Everyone thinks as long-term as their budget lets them. So obviously, if you have a big wealth already, then you are more okay to spend more years to build something new than when you start out with your first business and you just quit your 9-to-5 job. So yeah, that's something to really think about. And yeah, so these are the 10 commandments of email campaigns, but I hope this helped with retention as well. And I will share this presentation so everyone can check it. And I'm open to the questions now or any feedback.
Thank you, Daniel. I think this is, we talked, I think, very surface of this in the podcast, and I see that there's more depth into what you've shown here, so I think it's pretty cool. There's one thing, I have a question before anyone can open up, is when it comes to a lot of brands who are selling bundles or subscriptions, right? How do you go about increasing lifetime value using that? Like, how do you, even from that perspective, somebody can abandon trying to subscribe and then you need to get them back, and also if somebody's stock gets finished, you need to replenish and stuff like that. So how do you, really increase LTV using subscriptions and bundles? Like, how are you guys doing that with any of your clients?
Sure. So we don't directly set up bundles because it's usually their decision, the decision of the business, what they can afford and their margins and all of that. We rather advise them how to do it. Same with subscriptions, but 100% subscriptions are a great tool to increase lifetime value. However, it's not easy to come up with a good subscription. It's a bit like loyalty programs. So it's amazing, but you must be smart about it. So because if you just set this up, it doesn't mean it will do any good. It can even harm if it's a shitty subscription or loyalty program. That's what honestly, most companies, they don't have a good loyalty program or subscription. That's my opinion. But if it really makes sense, and you can check out great brands, one of my favorites are Lumin Skin in beauty or Dollar Shave Club. There are many businesses with great subscription plans, and you can check those out and steal their ideas, implement in yours. Also, one thing I can see is that many great subscriptions are the ones that you would never think that it can work. So I think Dollar Shave Club can be a good example, but I know a guy who sells shirts and ties for office workers in the UK. That's his subscription. Every month you get a shirt or socks or a new tie, but every month you get something, and it works very well because office workers, they spend 5 days in the office, they need a lot of shirts and socks and ties, and it works very well. And I would never think that subscription in clothing can work. So yeah, but if you do it well, subscriptions, bundles, amazing. Will increase your LTV or AOV. So they become stickier because I like this Netflix example. I watch Netflix, but what I always do is I want to watch something, I subscribe, and then I forget it. And I pay 3 months, I unsubscribe, and then I go back 1 month later. So Netflix earns good money from me, and I'm not even a user. I just watch one thing. So customers are much stickier if you have a subscription, for sure.